Kia ora koutou, ko Janice tāko and Goa. I am the project lead and founder of an organisation called Koha Kai, based here in Invercargill. We work with people with disabilities, all kinds of disabilities, teaching them skills which will be transferable into their own lives to improve the quality and their opportunity to live independently in community. Alongside of this, the program that we use is taking people towards employment opportunity, future employment opportunities. So this is my second blog. Last time I was talking about teaching people the value of appreciation. This time I wanted to talk about the reality of people who live with who are isolated and marginalised by the fact that they live with disabilities, and the fact that they are among the lowest socio-economic sector in our community. And so this blog is more about poverty and budgets and things like that. So I want you to understand that people who work with us, who come to Koha Kai to learn these skills, they're generally on a benefit that we call supported living benefit. That means that there is no real expectation that they will go out and get themselves a job at this point. The government knows that they're going to be supporting them probably for the rest of their life, and so they pay them a living allowance. Well, that's what they call it. Now, I'm not sure what that living allowance is, to be fair, but I'm guessing it's somewhere around the $330 mark. So I want to explain to you what that looks like when you are someone with a disability and living in this situation. So let's say you're starting off with a budget every week coming into your account of $330. Here in Invercargill, and I have to say it is among one of the cheapest places in New Zealand to live. Most of the people, in fact 90% of the people who work with us, they rent. So, and the average rent for a 2-bedroom in Invercargill would be around $200 to $230 for a real basic accommodation. So let's go kind of in the middle of there. Let's go, say for instance, well, no, just take it down to the minimum one. So let's say for instance, you have to pay $200 a week for your rent. That gives you really basic accommodation, and very likely it's going to be fully electric heating. So therefore, you've got a roof over your head, you have to provide heat, because Invercargill it can be quite cold. We are, as I would suggest, in the middle of winter, we're about 2.5 kilometres from the South Pole sometimes. The wind comes in, all the trees are on an angle, and because the wind comes in and it's cutting, it comes through Te Arakiwa, Fauvo Strait. So you need to have that. So there's $230 of your budget that's gone. Now, most of the people that we support are on regular medical consultations. They have to go to the doctor about every 3 months to monitor all sorts of different conditions. And so every time they go to the doctor, there's another $50. They have regular medications, and while some of it is paid for or subsidised, there is still a cost that's included with that. If they have any kind of hire purchase payments, they have to be accounted for. Then they need to be able to stay in contact with people. They need to have some way of connecting with people. A lot of the people that I support have got medical alarms, and those things cost like $25 or something for monitoring them a month. So that has to be written into their budget. So all of these things add up and add up and add up. Now, one of the people that I was supporting, he had, when all his must-pays were paid, he had $25 left to support himself for the week. That's all his food costs, but not just food costs. It's all his everything spare costs. So his personal hygiene requirements. So everything came into that $25, and so a typical trip to the supermarket for one of the people that I was supporting would be straight through the fresh food section. Don't stop, don't look in any direction, because it's too expensive to be in that section. Around there, any kind of pre-packaged, pre-prepared, highly processed, non-nutritional food, you know, the favourite go-to for everybody was pre-cooked sausages, because you can buy them bulk, and that can last you for the week after week after week. And so, you know, you might get some potatoes because it gives the feeling of having a lot of food in that bag, and you get your frozen and you get your pre-cooked sausages, and then you know you've got to have some veggies, so let's just go for some frozen mixed veggies and a dollar loaf of bread, again highly processed, highly nothing in it. So you can see, and anybody who does a shop knows that we've already exceeded our $25 budget, and we haven't even looked at body wash and shampoo and deodorant, or even sometimes I think toilet paper. So this is the challenge that confronts people, and these are people who already have so many challenges because they may have intellectual or physical or any number of other disabilities as well, and they are living on this budget and they're expected to cope with this. There is no fat in this budget. There is no ability to be able to do all of the things that everybody else does. So they want to have the new phone, and they want to have a computer or a TV or all of the things that everybody else has. And the problem is that so many businesses are prepared to enter into purchase contracts with these people, and it's not sustainable. You know, to have a nice phone, a smartphone that everybody, all their friends have, so that you can go on Facebook, so you can do all of those things. You have to be on a plan because they can't afford to pay for it outright. So they sign it over into the into the 2-year contract. And then they can't afford to do the payments on it. So that was the next challenge that I really faced. The first being about recognizing that these people live in a world where they have to say thank you to everybody for everything all the time. And then to move into the place where actually life is really tough. And part of the reason why they are isolated is because they cannot afford to go anywhere or do anything or have any of the things, the niceties that people who are working or people that don't have disabilities tend to be able to manage. And so, you know, that became the second challenge that I started pondering about and thinking about how we could make things better for the people that I was working with, the people who came to be at the heart of Koha Kai. Kia ora.